Welcome to Marital Mayhem Part 2, and I know in every relationship there's this moment we have like a get real moment. Every relationship hits a wall or a time where things just get really ugly for a while. And some of those moments for some people was, a separation. Some of those people, it's on the brink of divorce. And we always feel it's like we're the only married couple that is going through that. And I wanted to say that, everyone hits a moment like this. I remember my wife and I, we had this discussion, and we were in this altercation, this fight in my house, and I was saying certain things and she was saying certain things. And I remember this moment where she said, "Hey, maybe I should leave for a while. Maybe I should just go away." And I was thinking to myself, how did I how did I get myself into this situation? I mean, how did we get here? You're saying you want to leave me, and you can't leave me. I mean, I'm a pastor. We're happily married. And that was my get real moment in my married life. I mean, we all have these moments in our marriage relationships, and if you even think about it, we all have them in just our regular relationships. I mean, just relationships that we have with people. They come through trials and problems, and we grow from them. And I find there's only two options once you hit this mark in life, is that you can either rely on the commitment that you made to one another or separate and get, and luckily my wife and I decided to, we made a commitment to God, and we're going to see how to make this work. And I had to ask myself some questions. I had to ask myself, where did I go wrong? I mean, I've never heard someone say to me, "Man, my relationship with God is just smoking awesome, but, my marriage is falling apart." There's something missing between your relationship with God and why it didn't work in this marriage situation. And it's key to find out what is the missing link. Check out this scripture. Wives, understand and support your husbands in ways that show your support for Christ. The husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to his church, not by domineering, but by cherishing. So just as the church submits to Christ as he exercises such leadership, wives should likewise submit to their husbands. Husbands, go all out in your love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church, a love marked by giving, not getting. I read that scripture and I see where he says, don't be domineering to the guys. Don't be domineering, but cherishing. And you think guys, and you think, oh man, what do they cherish? And it doesn't sound like a guy type term. You're like manly, but not cherishing. But guys do cherish things. I mean, they cherish sports, ESPN.com. I mean, they cherish tons of things. But we don't usually cherish, sometimes our wives. And I love that scripture because it just gives a perfect, like a descriptive terms on what guys should be doing with their wives. She's cherishing them, being there for them emotionally, not just physically, but being there with them emotionally. And for the women, it's interesting that support your husbands like you support Christ, and saying that, hey, be there for them, encourage them. And it's funny because women are so known for encouraging their kids and encouraging special causes and even the church at large. But sometimes they fall short in supporting the one person that they need to be supporting, their husbands, and encouraging and understanding them. And it's just the most perfect scripture in describing the marriage relationship and how each one of them should be together. When we made that commitment in marriage, that day that we stood up before God and other witnesses, there was this union that was being made between your spouse and God, and it's perfectly set in this ring. Think of yourself as part of this ring. You over here, your spouse over here, and God maybe at the top, and it's this endless, seamless circle. And any one of you guys have broken, say yourself or your spouse has broken that relationship between God, it's going to hurt the other person. I mean, if there was a hole in this ring, it's not going to stay on. And that's exactly what happens. It only takes one person with their relationship with God to kind of be off just a little bit, to start to put pressure and to put problems into the marriage. And so it's so crucial that each individual in the marriage relationship is looking for God to where they need to adjust. A lot of times when we get in these get real moments, these this long road and this desert where we feel like there's no option, a lot of times this idea of divorce comes into play. We think, man, if I just get a divorce, then I won't have to deal with this person. Or if I just get a divorce, I won't have to have any more problems. I'll actually be happy in life. And there's a couple problems with that. One is that I've seen people go through divorces and it's brutally painful. It's just so painful for people to go through that process. And it wasn't meant to be. Like, the marriage relationship wasn't meant to go through divorce. And the second thing is, if we don't stop and look at our relationship with God, what ends up happening is we bring ourselves into the next relationship. So we just keep having the same problems over and over and over again when it wasn't designed to be like that. So if you are going through or have been through this problem time or this time where things have been really off, stop and take a second. Look at your relationship with God. See, are you encouraging your spouse? Or are you cherishing your spouse? And that is absolutely crucial to have a healthy relationship.